My name is Laura. I am from Massachusetts. I got sick almost 3 years ago. I ended up having an Epstein-Barr virus reactivation, which I didn't even find out until like 5-6 months into being sick. So it was like a long road going from doctor to figure out what I even had. And the symptoms from it just continued to go on and not go away. Because I ended up going to like different holistic doctors, and I even tried that IV ozone, which is supposed to like clean out your blood and then like put it back into you, and that didn't work for me. And then about a year to being sick, I went to an infectious disease specialist, and I was like, I am not better at all. And he basically ruled everything out and said, you have chronic fatigue syndrome, which the name doesn't even do the symptoms justice, but he basically was like, there is no cure for this. This is how you're going to be, like, from now on. And I was infuriated. I'm so young and I have so much of my life left. And I had this extreme, debilitating, life-altering fatigue, life-shattering fatigue, to the point where it was so painful. Like, I was in a constant state of pain. It felt like somebody was like ripping my eyes and like my brain into the ground. That's like the type of, it was like this pulling fatigue pain that was there 100% of the time. And also it was deep within my body. I was so weak and heavy. My body felt like cement. It felt like I was just being like pulled into the ground. My bones, my arms. Walking was so hard. Talking was so hard. Getting up to like get a glass of water was so hard. I could not take care of myself. And there were a bunch of other symptoms on top of it as well. There was a constant state of dizziness, constant brain fog. You know, I was even losing like my memory. Like, I was forgetting I would say things or do things. It was hard for me to form like sentences, and everything was just so debilitating. Then, of course, there was just debilitating insomnia on top of it. And I'd never ever felt any of these symptoms before. I don't even know how I went on. It amazes me. I don't understand how I pushed through, but I couldn't even work a job. I was always used to being like a very active, healthy person. And it was incredibly scary and terrifying that all of a sudden my entire life was just, it was over. Like, it really was, it felt like it was over. And when that infectious disease specialist basically was like, yeah, this is it for you. That's how I took it anyways. It was just, I mean, it was the worst moment of my life. And I felt like my body was dying. And that's when I was researching and then came across Daerick and Nedrra. And that's why I, thought to myself, I want to do something else. And lo and behold, I get a text from Daerick and Nedrra saying, hey, a spot opened up. And so it was weird because it was like perfect timing. And so I decided to join the group program. And I mean, ever since I started working with Daerick and Nedrra, like, I honestly noticed changes right away, emotional changes, and like that first week. But the physical changes I didn't notice until later. But even the emotional changes starting it, I can't even describe how helpful that was, because I know if you're going through something like this, you know how isolating it can be. But like, it is so isolating, and nobody understands you, especially with like a chronic illness. They think you're fine. Oh, you look fine, so you're fine. People push you too much, like, come on, let's go. Like, why are you laying down? Or why? It was just so upsetting. And even like my mind was constantly just in a state of like worry and anxiety, being like, oh my God, am I going to get my life back? When am I going to get my life back? Anyway, so they really helped with all those thoughts, just doing what they said to do, because they'll tell you like what to do on your own to basically like further your healing. And so I did those things, and like, whoa, okay, like this is doing something. So then after doing the group for a while, I actually noticed like a bigger jump in like the fatigue lessening. This is happening. And it made me feel like lighter, and it made me, hopeful, but also like my body at one point, I felt like a a little spur of energy, which I hadn't felt for years. I mean, it wasn't like I jumped up and was like miraculously better, but it was a really good feeling. I was like, oh my gosh, like, I think my body wants to kind of move. Like, maybe I can go on a walk now. And so then I just continued to feel like more and more of that. And I would have so many moments where I would like freak out to myself, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just like went on that walk, and I can't believe it. And I don't feel like my body's gonna collapse. And every time I notice improvements, I'm in so much awe, because it's just truly life-changing. My body doesn't feel dead inside. It feels alive. Me, at this point, at any of those past years, could have only dreamed to feel how I feel now. I can see the finish line, and I'm really, 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 really excited. And if I wasn't like asleep, then I was in pain. I was in physical pain, and it was like Groundhog Day, just over and over. My body went from that to like, now I'm standing here today and I don't feel those pains. I truly feel like this is a miracle, and I don't take it lightly that I came across Daerick and Nedrra, and that what they're doing is working for me. I feel really, really grateful and lucky that this is working. So I hope that this video inspires you to just keep going and to never ever give up on yourself, because it's your life. Like, you get to live it. And don't listen to anybody who is trying to tell you like you're never going to get better. And working with Daerick and Nedrra, they're like the two sweetest people I think I've ever met in my entire life. They're just so awesome, and you can just tell through the screen that they're like just genuine and kind, and you know, they really do want to help people, and I love working with them. I just think they're so cool, and just it blows my mind what they can do and just what they've done for so many people. They've given so many people their lives back, and so thank you, Daerick and Nedrra, and I wish you all the best on your healing journeys.